Okay, so I was scrolling through Twitter and looking at a bunch of stuff, and I came across some rather distressing news. So, if you've been paying attention to the redistricting and line drawing in Texas and California, there's a big, huge fight between Texas and California about redistricting congressional district lines, and that's a big deal. The Republicans currently hold a very narrow majority, and if California redraws their district lines, they could add another 5 or 10 seats, something like that, and which means Texas needs to basically do the same, um, draw up another 10 seats just to counteract California. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, the reason is if the Democrats get into power, Donald Trump will be impeached. And every Democrat and 75 to nearly 100% of the Republicans will all join in. There are a handful of Republicans that actually care about this country. And I mean a handful, right? You can count them from probably on one or two hands tops. Um, the rest are just kind of dragging their heels. And you see it like Pam Bondi is a prime example. The Republican leadership for the Senate and the Congress are two more examples of people that are Republican in name only. Really, they're not. They're Democrats. They are just because they're slow walking the Trump agenda. They are not allowing Trump to do what's called absent recession appointees. I believe it's what it's called, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong. Session appointees. And so, because when a new president comes in, there's, several thousand people, like probably close to 1,500 people that need to be put in place. We're talking directors, assistant directors, people like that. Okay. And the president is not going to have the time to put in all these people. What happens is you have the main heads. So like your Tulsi Gabbard and your Kash Patels and things like that. And they will go through the various positions that they need to fill, like Dan Bongino, or you have Pam Bondi, her assistant attorney general, and et cetera, et cetera. And you go down, and the heads of the various departments, they make recommendations for who they want to fill out the rest of their immediate staff. And so it just kind of this trickle down effect, right? Well, if you look at past presidents, does you pick one? Even Trump 2016 was able to do over 100 different appointees, recess appointees. That's just how it works. So what have you got now? Well, now you've got the Rhino official opposition, uniparty, whatever, slop, slug monster, swamp creatures like Mike Johnson and Thune, who are slow walking these appointments. They are currently on the August recess. So from the 1st of August until the very last day of August, the useless shitbags that run Congress and the Senate and all that kind of stuff are on vacation, right? They probably work 100 days out of the fucking year. Anyway, sorry, that just really burns my butter. Anyway, so they won't get back until September 1st. Well, in the meantime, you have a bunch of flunkies holding these mock sessions of Congress, I guess you could say. They're not really official. They're official sessions in that they're not, they're only holding it ceremonially so that Trump can't do these recess appointments. So they're purposefully dragging their heels as much as possible. You see it in Pam Bondi. You see it in Mike Thune. You see it in Mike Johnson. You see it in all over the place. There are bunches of absolute turncoats slow walking the Trump agenda, right? Pam Bondi's a prime example. You have bombshell after bombshell of wrongdoing and Clintons and Obamas and the Russiagate hoax, and you just name it. There's all this stuff that's out there, and you're like, okay, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. That's what you're going to do about it. You're just going to be like, look, all this wrong stuff is happening. You're just going to have to suck it up. You kidding me? So that's why it just absolutely it just black pills you. Like, you look at all this stuff and you're like, okay, we knew, like, you're telling us, it's like you're telling us that Obama was dirty. Okay, you're telling me that the sky is blue and clouds bring rain. Yeah, okay, so Obama's dirty, Hillary's dirty. Everybody knows Hillary's dirty. Everybody's known Hillary's dirty for decades, right? It hasn't changed. So what's going to happen? Nothing, because you have the deep state in control. Still, it's like they say they're draining the swamp. No, they're not. You have swamp creatures like Pam Bondi and Mike Thune and Mike Johnson, who are basically the biggest roadblocks for everything. And then you have every single Republican governor or whatever, with a very few exceptions, doing the same thing. Like, there's like, I don't know. It really frustrates me, if you could tell. So what can you do about it? That's the goal. That's the point of all this. What can you do about it? Well, in the case of, if you live in Texas, call your state representative, with whatever district you belong to, call them, be polite. Okay. That is very important. Be polite, but let them know in no uncertain terms to stop waffling around, to actually arrest these Democrats, to actually vacate their seats, to actually follow through with what they're pretending they want to do. Right now, it's just words, fluff and nonsense. It's the sternly worded letter meme. I mean, it's a bad punchline to a bad joke. It's like, oh yeah, the Democrats are going to put the boot up your ass, while the Republicans are just going to give you a nice sternly worded letter and carry on, and let the Democrats carry on with what they want to do, which is exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. And the result will be in 2026 that the Democrats will win in a landslide. Trump and Vance will be out on their ears, and a digital ID is already being rolled out. The Second Amendment will be blocked, repealed, whatever. The First Amendment might as well be a joke at this point, and the U.S. will devolve into a Muslim-ran communist shithole. Yeah. So, unless you do something about it, unless you call your state rep, call your senator, call your congressman, give them the Bud Light treatment. Don't let this sit. Like, I know everybody, like, I'm tired of this, right? Everybody's tired of this, but you can't let it slide, because if you do, they win. And the Republicans are relentless, right? They have all the energy in the world to enforce their will. They are relentless. So you have to be just as relentless. So call them, be respectful, and let them know in no uncertain terms that if they don't follow through with what they're saying, threaten them with a recall election, right? Look at Keir Starmer in the UK. He's been in power for a year, and he's got 2 recall petitions going in under a year, I think it is. That says bad things when you're not even a year into your first term as a prime minister, and they're already trying to recall you. Okay, we have precious few things that we can do, but recalling is one of them. So if it comes down to petitions and whatnot, if they're not representing you, pull them out. Anyway, that's my rant for today. If you have any comments, suggestions, or otherwise, put them in the comments below and we can chat about it. Until then, that's it. That's all. There is no more.